Okay, can you state your name and the office that you're running for?
My name is Jason Charbonnet, and I'm running for Justice of the Peace in Precinct 6.
Okay, and why are you running for that office?
I've been in law enforcement for over 17 years. Whenever I decided to take this venture that I'm in here, I learned about the problems that are going on out of JP6 and all the problems that started over there, the misappropriation of taxpayer money, doesn't open his office for lunchtime, doesn't go to work on Mondays. Those things kind of bothered me, so I decided that I would take a look at talking to some people and see if that's something I wanted to do. And I actually have unique qualifications to actually be able to do it, so I think I'd make a pretty good asset to Tarrant County and being able to actually maintain a court like that.
Okay, and briefly describe your qualifications.
Again, I'm a 17-year law enforcement officer. I have worked everything from the lowest traffic tickets to capital murder. I am the first investigator in Tarrant County to obtain a capital murder indictment of an unborn child. I have 9 years of criminal investigations. My qualifications include supervision, police supervision, up to patrol sergeant level. I'll be acting a supervisor for anything above the chief's out. We all move up one. So that's my day-to-day qualifications. I'm a father of a 5-year-old and 3-year-old, and married to a beautiful, very understanding woman who I've been blessed with, and she's taken on the law enforcement with me, and we brought the kids on board with us for this whole venture, and we're having a really good time with it.
What do you believe the proper role of government is?
My view of government is, I believe it should be limited. The government should have a very limited role to keep us safe and to keep the day-to-day operations going. I don't believe that we should be spending money frivolously where it doesn't need to be spent.
When and for what reason should state or local government be allowed to seize private property under eminent domain?
The Fifth Amendment to the Constitution is pretty specific when it talks about us being able to, our government being able to seize land. I believe that if it's going to be used for public use, then it needs to be gone through the right condemnation processes. But just to be able to take it just because the government believes they want it, it needs to be for public use and not for any other things.
Is Texas in need of civil asset forfeiture reform?
I believe so. I believe that just seizing things, I've been a part of several seizure cases in my career in criminal investigations. I don't think that it really benefits if the police departments are looking at it and the cities are looking at it just to make money off of it. That's the absolute incorrect way to do it. I believe that that should go back to the defendant because they have attorney's fees, court costs, other things are involved in that. So if a police department or a city is looking at it just to make money, or government's looking at it just to make money, that's absolute wrong thing to do. So yes, I do believe that we do need some asset forfeiture reform.
What is your position on marriage rights?
My position on marriage rights is I believe that as far as men and women and should be married, I guess in lack of better words, gay marriage is not part of my Christian values, but it is unfortunately the Supreme Court has ruled on it, and I'm not running for any legislature position, so I don't believe it's part of my Christian values, but unfortunately for right now it is the law under the Supreme Court.
What are the top 3 issues for your campaign?
Integrity, back to the court. I believe some more transparency would be really good. I don't like some of the issues that have taken place into that office. and I know this is not the time nor the place to even talk about that, but if you read more up on Precinct 6, it's not hard to find. And I think more innovation. I've looked at a lot of the JP courts around, and I think that there's a couple that have some really good innovative ideas and some ways that we can really improve some of the ways to avert some of the things that come into those courts.
What do you believe are the top 3 things that make you more qualified than your opponents?
I think that I'm a career public servant. I am a law enforcement officer. I am uniquely qualified to serve in this position. Part of the day-to-day operations of a JP, which a lot of people don't realize when they vote somebody into one of these things or one of these offices, is the day-to-day operation is signing arrest warrants for people or for officers. If you don't know what you're signing and what you're looking at, that case is going to get dropped. So if you're involved in an assault with a family member and it's an incorrect warrant, or the elements of the offense aren't there, or the probable cause is not there, it's over, and they're going to drop that case. So I think that being able to actually do the day-to-day operations, I've seen the writs, I've seen the different kinds of documents and proceedings that have taken place in those courts, and I'm uniquely qualified to be able to do it, fortunately for me.
Please describe your political experience as well as experience as an election volunteer, staffer, candidate, or office holder, being sure to include any names of any candidates or officer holders that you've worked for or volunteered.
I'm going to be really upfront and honest. I am not a career politician, and I have been a Republican voter my whole life. I am not a activist. I am a law enforcement officer. I am a public servant. That is what I've always done. I've really enjoyed getting to know a whole lot of people, good people, in this party, and I think that Tarrant County's got a great Republican Party right now. But it's fixing to get a whole lot better. I can promise you that. I volunteer through my church and through we're big into animal rights things, and so we volunteer a lot with that. I haven't spent a whole lot of time volunteering in campaigns and any type of political events. Again, I'm not a career politician. That's not my focus. I stay neutral, and a lot of it, being a law enforcement officer for so long, I've had to stay neutral in a lot of it.
Yeah, I think you said you're a lifelong Republican. Is that correct?
I am. I've always voted in the Republican primaries and any election that I'm actually in here for, and again, I've always enjoyed reading up on the candidates and who they are, and I try to make an informed decision, because we have to get away from electing people just based on their political activism, based on their just because they're a guy that's been involved in a party. We have to start electing judges that are qualified to do these jobs. If we don't stop electing these people that are not qualified, we're going to keep running our taxpayer money back through these courts. And we have to start electing people that are duly qualified to do these jobs.
Okay. Why do you vote Republican?
I vote for Republican because I am for limited government. I am for strong families, good education, and keeping our money and our principles right here with us. I'm here I'm just I'm a family, big time family man, and that's in my Christian values. That's just where I am.
Okay. Is there anything you?
Let me see. I think you asked about the marriage rights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Is there anything you want to tell the voters, the board?
First of all, I really appreciate the opportunity to come here. This was a very good experience for me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the time that I've been given in this entire campaign. I'm new to this political world, but I will promise you this: I am extremely qualified to do this job. I am the only candidate in this race right now that is actually qualified to do this job. The incumbent has there's some integrity issues. There's some serious issues going on out of that court. If you want somebody that actually knows how to do this job and will serve this office, then I really would love to have your vote.
And do you have a website?
I do. It is www.jasonforjp.com, and on Facebook it's @jasonforjp.
All right. Thank you for coming in.
Awesome.